miss commuting. I definitely do not miss Rat Race Drive. It's only been a couple of days. I don't fucking miss it. Alright. So if you read this, cool. I'll take questions and shit. If you didn't read this, well, hey, there you go. I think a lot of people like. I think there are a lot of people out there who play Guilty Gear and they don't like, either they really don't like Millia, or there's reasons to like Millia too. Millia can be pretty cheap, but especially amongst like lower level players, if you got to know how to deal with her stuff and understand her stuff. It mostly just comes from misunderstanding how she works, I think. If you got that, if you understand that and can recognize like what can come and can know the options that come after it, then you do much better. You will do much better. Much better. Now is the best time to learn how to fight her too, because like she's weaker, so she's not as punishing. She won't punish you super hard most of the time. If you learn how to defend, a lot of people do like kind of weak setups too sometimes. So if you learn how to defend well, then you'll live. And living is good. You want to live. I guess I'm just gonna go straight through it. This is I'm like skimming through it. It's pretty. Whoever wrote this really fucking. That's some good shit you wrote, dog. Right, do I have like a classroom style track here? Oh, you know what I'd be about? Who's about this where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. There we go. Okay. So follow along in the doc if you want, or you don't have to actually do it because I'm doing it anyway. So first, it's like the first thing you got to do is you have to be able to tell the difference between, because there's two types of disc setups essentially. There's ones that hit meaty, and there's ones that hit late. Okay. The ones that hit meaty, when I say meaty, it means that you can't jump out of it. So here you're gonna see that Soul can't jump out of this, right? Can't jump. So that is what I call a meaty disc, right? The late disc will be is exactly that. That's the latest disc. Okay, there we go. So a late disc you can jump out of to some degree. Millia, please. What are you doing? Okay. Okay. That's meaty versus late. Okay. So the first thing to understand is why would she pick one over the other, and what do they do? It's pretty important. The late disc, she has to meaty you. That's the difference is what is hitting you first between the two, right? The meaty disc means the disc is hitting you first. The late one means Millia has to hit you first. Okay. Why would she pick one over the other? The late disc gives technically better mix-ups, and you get more chance to do it. So, for example, you get... Actually, let me set... Let's set it to Indian. So... So with the late disc, you get more varied offense. You get multiple chances at mix-ups, and most importantly, from my perspective, you get to do bad mood hair car, which I think is her It's like her core mix-up. Like the main mix-up she does is that. It's the main thing that establishes all her other mix-ups is that mix-up. And you get more than one chance to mix them up too. That's the good things about late disc. The bad things about late disc. So for starters, okay. For starters, there's a lot of shit you can do. You can challenge easier because she's going directly at you. When she does a late disc, she's attacking you directly. When she does a late disc, melee attacks first, so technically defender has more direct options to deal with it. So I usually describe it as unsafe because it is unsafe on paper. Like melee is attacking first, the disc is not protecting you. The disc only protects you after you do the first mix-up, in case they guard the first mix-up. That's probably the main downside of it. Now, meaty disc. Oops, let me set up something cool. What one do I want to do? Meaty disc is first off. Of course, you can't jump out of the disc, right? And it's also safe to stuff. Oh wow, that never happens. Whatever. Just making sure. Since the disc is hitting you first, she can do stuff to be far away from you. And her mix-up is safer, so it's like you get to avoid stuff. I didn't pick a good one to like, I like DP will hit this or whatever, but... Okay, see? But you only get one mix-up. That's the main difference. You get one mix-up, but your mix-up is safer. Your mix-up is much safer, actually. And she can like, kind of mitigate the risk of your reversal options by picking that. So that's what it's like on her end. If she does a late disc, it's because she wants, either she has to, sometimes you just have to, right? And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But if she's doing a late mix-up, she has more mix-up opportunities. If she's, but it's less safe. Like you could do, it's easier to hit with reversals and stuff for the most part. If she has a meaty disc, it's really hard to do reversals to it, but you only have to block one mix-up for sure. So when do each come up? Okay, that's the next question. So when does each type of disc comes up? So for the most part, I guess the easy rule is, there are a couple of easy rules to remember. Pretty much any S pin. So first, I hope you know the difference between S pin, SS pin, and H pin. Those are the two. Okay. So pretty much any S pin into immediate disc or dash disc is a meaty disc. So for example, shit, that sucks. Microphone. Okay. Shit. When your microphone gets bloody. When your microphone gets triple. I swear to God, Mike. There you go. Okay, so like this kind of things. Like, see, now it's because it's wired. Fucking don't like that. Okay. So you're gonna see here, I can't jump out of this. I can't jump out of this. I equally can't jump out of this. Wow. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. See, can't jump. So generally, S pin immediate disc or S pin dash disc will always be immediate disc. H pin dash disc is never meaty. So H pin, if you see this, oops. Oh, nice by me. There we go. Why am I having problems picking what to do? Let's not do that right now. Notice how it doesn't hit him crouching, like a meaty disc would. A meaty disc would hit him immediately when he gets up. This he. Whoop. In the corner, it's a little different. In the corner, because she doesn't have to run. That would be a meaty disc, but when she dashes, it's not meaty. Any 2D knockdown is not meaty, and also any throw is not meaty. Throws are never meaty, so that's never meaty, and this is also not meaty. That's also not meaty. Just a nice little easy way to remember. But the more you get used to seeing it, the easier it will be to see like what types. So generally it's like S pin, dash disc, immediate disc, always meaty, H pin, dash disc, never meaty, throw, never meaty, 2D, never meaty. Okay. So important to know. Okay. The Evernote actually has like I write down like mid-screening corner and like a couple of things. So for the most part, if even that's a little bit too hard to remember, like pretty much if she does like pin and disc immediately, it's meaty. If she does mostly anything and does a dash disc, there's only one case where she does something into dash disc and it's meaty and it's after S pin. Everything else, like a dash disc is usually never ever meaty. That's probably the easiest way to remember. Okay. So now it's the actual fun. So next, oh actually no, you know what? I'll stop for a bit. Do you have any questions about that stuff before I move on? Do you have any questions about that? With this nice relaxing study track, do you have any questions about the stuff I just talked about? I think I just talked about what type of disc is which, what does she do off each, and how can you tell which one is which. All three are pretty important. What is meaty? Do you mean like what is meaty disc or what is meaty? Those are two different worlds. Those are talking about just what is meaty, like the fighting game term. That's disc. Okay, you'll see more about that later. If you just got here, you'll see more about that later. If you've been here the whole time and you have questions though, just come at me. Now's a good time. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. So next up is like, oh, I opened the wrong thing. Cool. Actual. Well, next up is the actual defense. So I'll talk about defending late disc first because one, it comes up more often. Because if you think about like how matches can go and stuff, late disc overall comes up more often than meaty discs do. Like I said, meaty disc usually just comes off of like very specific types of hits. Late disc happen more often. That's one reason I'm talking about it. And two, honestly, it's harder to defend against late disc than it is meaty disc. For a bunch of reasons. Late disc at a flat, right? At a flat, it's split. So I'll talk about like the first mix-up, and I'll talk about the second mix-up, and then I'll talk about what I think. I'll just like kind of go through it, and I'll talk about how you should think about it. So when I'm explaining this to, let me see. I wrote about like yeah. So first off, before I even talk about like defending it and stuff, the first thing you gotta understand is actually, so one thing to think about meaty disc, it's probably the last time I'll talk about meaty disc for a little bit, is that Pretty much all Meaty discs are almost all Meaty discs are really similar, right? Like you can get more frame advantage if you want, but like for the most part, as far as you defending, it's all the same. Like when she picks Meaty disc, it's all the same, unless it's something like really special. But as far as the defender goes, right? Not all late discs are the same. Like this, for example, am I not in the fucking? Oh, are we? Why does it do this? I don't get why it just decides to. Oh, what? Did I press something? Oh, okay. Yeah. So because like there are different types of knockdowns, like an example is this is throw is probably an example of the best type of late disc you can get. It's like one of the best type of late discs you can get. Usually throw in any like controlled situation. I'm gonna pick Kai real quick to show it. So I'm gonna do 2 recordings really quick and do the exact same thing and to show like the difference, right? So what recording is this? This is slot 1. So slot 1, this fucking wire. Okay. What? Okay. Slot 2 will be. Slot 3 will be. Oh, this one I. Okay, that one I'm actually not sure about. With these two, so I'll start with this, right? This one, it's like you hit out your what? Hit out your jump. This is why it's so hard to show people shit. That was really whack. There we go. Hit out your jump, right? Can't jump. Gold burst? You should just be like, there we go, yeah. I was about to say, you should be able to just mash. Okay. This is the classroom song. I'm gonna have it just on repeat. So, because I have a lot of frame advantage, I'm able to do like a lot of stuff, even though it's late. But here, you can jump for free. DP hits. Etc. etc. That's like the only thing that works because it's slow. It's slow. Okay. And in this case, if I did it right, this one's a little tough. Yeah, this one's a little tough. Yeah. It's fine. The first two are enough to demonstrate. Like, why is it like that? It's because you don't totally have to, at least, you don't need to know the number. It's good enough to know just what happens when you get knocked down. Your sweep is like face down, see? So, sweep is face down. Okay. And then throw is face up. See, he's on his back. So, for the most part, characters in Guilty Gear have 2 different wake up timings. When they get up, face up, and when they get up, face down. So, even though both of those are late discs, Kai's face up wake up is slower than his face down one. So I get to do more against his face up wake up and his face down. It is pretty, if you're going to defend against H disc, it is pretty important to know how your character gets up. It is really, really important to know how your character gets up. This will help you defend like fraudulence. Like for example, if I was playing against a Kai right now, I would never do this because I know it's not real. I would never ever do that. Ever do that. I would never do that. I have no reason to do that. But I will definitely do this. I will definitely do that. I'm not scared to do that. Right? But you as the defender, you need to know that too. You know, like you can't like. The flip side is you can't let somebody do this because it's not fucking real. It's not real at all. So, let me go back to Soul. My boy Soul. So it's like, what can you do? What should you do when you're defending a late disc? I'll use throw. His throw is like a very pure. That's a nice late disc. It's a very pure late disc. What should you do? This will bother me forever. So one thing you can do is you can just pick. You can just guess. You guess, and when you guess, you should FD. Whatever you guess, you should use FD. Committing to FD. Generally, if you want to guard, you want to FD because she will. Okay, so look here. Look at the bounce here. Look how far she goes here. And now look how far she goes here. Gets pushed back farther. So the order of operations, if you choose to do that and guard successfully, would be. I fucked it up, of course. If you fuck up, it's fine, but you should try to do it. There you go. It's to FD her, FD the first mix up, and try to IB the last hit of disc, so that you get as much advantage as possible. If you don't do it, it's fine. If you don't do it, it's fine. You don't have to IB the second hit, but at least pushing her out a little bit will help you there. And there's nothing wrong with guessing. There's nothing wrong with trying to guess. When you guess, especially if you're playing someone who's competent, you have to commit too, because there's no fucking way you're going to block a bad moon hair card. You just can't do it. You really can't do it. I've tried forever. If you're getting hit by both, getting hit by that, and there's just no way. They're hitting at the same time. I mean, I can literally try right now. I will not be able to do it. I mean, I'm even trying to. I can't help but like try to OS card. Like, I'll do like a couple of runs. Maybe I'll get lucky and RNG will be my favorite, but also look how far she goes when I FD the hair car. Immediately, you just can't. By the time I saw it, I already got hit. Yep, so fucking fast. The only reason I'm blocking hair cars is because I'm guessing low. See, like you really can't block that. So whatever you choose to do, just pick one. Pick one and try to FD it. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you can. Okay, so I'll do it like this. You can try to throw. If you have a throw OS, you should use it. I'm bad at doing this because I have to. There you go. You could try to throw. You could try to throw it. You are counting on her not going into the air though when you do that. And you can sort of fuzzy it, like you could try to, let's say if I have like it kind of depends, but I feel like most people usually commit to it. In some cases you can like delay it, but you should use your throw OS. You should use your throw OS. She has to go into the air, so any of these like can you throw 6K? Of course you could throw this. Like it's not throwable. The main reason why that's so, if someone is doing a lot of like if they do this a lot, or if they do like a 2K or something a lot, if they do that a lot, then throw is not a bad thing to do. Throw loses to, of course, you not being like she has airborne moves, so especially if I do like bad move, hair car, jumping, air dash. Funny enough, by the way, this it's a mixed bag. Sometimes sometimes you could throw this, and if you delay, you could throw it too. But it generally just like jump, IAD, bad moon, hair card, just stuff that or like her not being there, for whatever reason. So if you're picking throw, it's a counter. It's a all of these are reads, to be honest. But if you're picking throw, it's because they're doing a lot of that. Not caveat. Side note: a lot of low-level Millia players, like beginner Millia players, have problems dealing with throws. So their default is usually IED. So if you're fighting someone who you know is like newer, you shouldn't do throw because they're probably gonna IED over you, and then you're gonna get hit and be really sad. So blitz is also valid too. So blitz, I'm gonna talk about blitz also. And use, okay, so blitz is also valid. There is some logic to blitz. So stand blitz beats a lot of stuff. Low blitz just beats lows. So there's a couple of ways you can go about it. You can have a kind of build where you try to stand blitz, because you'll be safe against cross up, especially if you hold your blitz, right? You'll reject turbo fall, you'll blitz bad moon, and you'll blitz 6k. If she just jumps, then you're fine, right? And the only thing it will lose to is a low. Most low or throw. Most Millia players will not use throw as a mix-up because the return is just not there really. As far as low, they're going to want to get return on their low. So especially if they're mid-screen, they're going to do like 2D or 2K or something. So rather than low blitz, which loses to literally everything except lows, you can just block that low or try to throw it. And also with blitz, if you're guessing with blitz, it's like honestly you're guessing anyway. Like you have to be right about high low anyway. So it's like if you're high, if you guess right, then if you blocked, you would have blocked. So technically you got a higher reward thing. If you guessed wrong on the blitz, then you would have blocked wrong anyway. So it's not so bad, right? The only bad part is you spent meter. So just an interesting way to think about that you might not have thought about before. I said hell blitz, like I said, also pretty valid. Like even something like that will get hit by hell blitz. Hell blitz beats a lot of stuff, and especially for late disc, you pretty much have to do lows or wait it out. Excuse me, it's not a bad thing to do. Not a bad thing to do. Another option, you can pick. So I said you can pick to guard a certain way. You can also pick to block low. Picking to just block low is not bad also. When you pick to block low, for example, like you'll never get hit by that. So when you're standing, it's a little tricky, right? But when you're crouching, it takes the disc longer to reach you, and you can. I didn't fucking switch my guard, but you can react. You have a long time to react when you crouch to cross-ups. Even something like really technically tricky, like a turbo fall cross-up, which is really, really hard to block if you're standing high. You have plenty of time to block it if you're crouching. You'll block all those obviously, and pretty much the only way they can open you up is bad moon. Bad moon, I mean, of course, because you're blocking low. But when you block low, you beat, as in it's easier to defend against cross-ups, and you'll defend against lows also. And if they're trying to like bait blitz and stuff, then you're just fine. If you are also mega privileged too, if you're crouching under a low, if you're crouching under the disc and stuff, and they're like sitting here waiting for you, you also have the benefit of sticking out your long range low and making the disc go away. Not all characters, this is kind of a character thing, but if your character has that, it's good. It is good. Another thing you can do, and this is generally for when they don't have a good knockdown. I'm using throw for all these. Is you can try option select defense, option select guard. I will definitely. I said I would definitely, but because they could just up back. This is pretty much the only time you can block bad moon on down is here. You can see my inputs and stuff too. Similarly, you could try to just jump. You could try to jump when you notice the jump, or do some type of disrespect in general when you notice the disc is not good, like a well set late disc. Delay fuzzy throw. I kind of mentioned about that before, but it's actually good if you have a character that has a good throw. So like if you have Alpha, if you play Alpha or Johnny, so also like a delayed throw, a slightly delayed throw is not bad, especially because Haircar. If you take like let's use Alpha. Alpha is a really good example. If you take the fact that she generally because they changed the way her H disc works, they wanted to get her to they wanted it to work like pretty maze a little bit, but then like also be like fair. They wanted it to do like multiple things, but because it works the way it does, you can't generally get hair car combos. So, oh wow. Whoops. I didn't mean to jump forward, but it shouldn't matter. Oh, rare footage of it working. So like it is pretty good though. It is pretty good to do sometimes. You'll block some stuff because you delayed instead of you mashing it, and then like her return for doing hair car is low mid screen, pretty much always. Like you can't get. It's really fucking hard to combo with this mid screen. Most characters you can't do it, just outright. Most characters just can't fucking do it. So it's not a bad option to do, especially Venom and Johnny. Those two are probably the best at it. Venom, Johnny, and then like Soul and Alpha. Those characters have that as a pretty good option. Goldburst is good. Goldburst is good for multiple reasons. Goldburst, if you first of all, if you get a successful gold burst, you get 100 meter. That's awesome, right? That's you're fucking winning when you have 100 meter. Second of all, if they do guard it somehow, like if they let's say they do this. Okay. Assuming I did this right, I should guard. Okay. So even if they guard, you're plus. So you're plus, and you have it's not like your burst swift or anything. There's only one way for her to punish, and which is I should have did it right. This is the only way she could punish it, which I did not do. See, I mess it up sometimes. There we go. That's the only way that she can stop it. The disc is supposed to hit. I wonder why that doesn't happen now. But yeah, that's pretty much the only way she can stop it. Outside of that, like when you do gold burst, it's usually an advantage for you. Even if she OS's it with like YRC, right? You're still advantageous, so it's something to keep in mind. Of course, the downside is you did use your burst, so if you use it and it wasn't successful and she gets momentum, then you're kind of in trouble. But it's something to keep in mind. It's not a bad option. On top of that, when you're thrown, you can't blue burst throw, so it's easier to do wake up gold burst after throw. Just something to keep in mind. Okay. If you have a fast DP, So I picked Soul just for that reason too, because he has a 5-frame DP. If you have a 5-frame DP, there's she's already doing it, right? Yeah, I think she's already doing YRCOS. I think. Yeah. So if you think about it, just like math, right? Because his DP is 5 frames and YRC is 6, there is pretty much no way to YRC option select his DP. The 5-frame DPs are pretty fucking good against the latest setups. If you have a slower DP, so if you don't have a 5-frame DP, the slower it is, the easier it is for her to YRC option select. So like, Soul, you can't do it, right? But Kai is really easy to do it too. Leo is really easy to do it too. Something like Jam is in the middle, like it's doable, but it's tight. Jacko is pretty easy to do it too. Like it makes sense. If you just go and see how fast her DP is, it'll be pretty easy to see like can she option select my DP easily or not. When you have a 5-frame DP, generally the only thing she can do is try to make it whiff somehow. I guess I got this really fast. Okay, that's pretty much all she can do is like usually my go-to option is like this, like just backdashing away, to which then you have the guessing game of like is he gonna hit something, is he gonna jump, like having a DP keeps her really honest. So like if you have a 5-frame DP, if you have a 5-frame DP and I do this. That's like I'm fucking confident that you're not gonna DP. I'm extremely confident that you're not gonna DP. Cause I can't cover it. I have to just guess. Similarly with super, like if you have a good super, you can try to do that. It's in the same lane as DP. And dead angle is available too, but because you have to block first. Because the disc is late, right? You have to block her first. So, like for example, if she had 50 right here and you're guarding, you would have to block the bad moon before doing a dead angle. That's kind of odd. Oh, there you go. I wonder why that was like that. Okay, yeah. You'd have to block her first. That would be the only way. Oh, that would be the only way to do that. So it's good to know, but you gotta recognize like during the late disc, it's like you gotta block that first. Ooh, that was actually a lot. I'll take a sec. Take a sec. Let that settle in for you. What's a dead ankle? It's an attack you could do when you're in block stun for 50 meter. It's invincible. It's an invincible attack you do out of block stun, but it costs 50 meter. So half your meter. It's expensive, but it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. It's hard. Not impossible, but it's hard to deal with dead ankles. Anyone has any questions so far? That was a lot of shit. The second part is shorter. The second part is shorter. The first part, if I had to describe it in a short way, like a too long did read, it's kind of like there's counterplay to it. Like there's outright stuff that you can't see, but there are answers to that. And if you put those answers on the table, then she has to do other stuff, and there's usually answers to that too. So it just ends up depending on like what character you play and like how many resources you have. So someone like Soul has like a really good defensive spread for her. Like the only thing I found someone to deal with 5-frame DPs a couple weeks ago, but then where is the low? Remember where's the low? Yeah. So it really depends on your character and like the other person's tendencies and what type of knockdown they got. But it's important like you figure out like what your character has available and then like line it up against the stuff she can do. And then like not only be willing to pick stuff, but cycle through it too, so it's hard for her to be like the worst thing that can happen to you, like if you played me, right? The worst thing that can happen to you is that I understand your defensive patterns. if I figure out your defensive patterns, you're fucking done. You're just done. Because I'm just gonna pick stuff that counters your defense. I'm not. It's like it goes a little bit farther than actually mixing you up. It's more like literally mixing you up. I picked that a weird way. It's more like I'm just targeting your habits rather than like doing mix-ups. Doing mix-ups would be like oh, I do Bad Moon or I do Hair Car or something, like I do IAD or something. But if you have like certain defensive tendencies and I know them, then I can target them. So it's much better if you figure out all the things your characters can do and pick stuff that I specifically have to pick against, or at least I can't pick too many things against. That will like help you get through that first one. That first mix up is the hardest one. Oh, I let the music switch to not Butterfly Kiss. Why would I do that? There we go. There we go. I thought something was weird. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So let's say I keep doing this. There you go. So let's say you block the. We'll make you crouch for this. No, stand's fine. So let's say you blocked the first mix-up. So now it's about the second mix-up. So what do you do? So she is safe. Like whatever she does is safe if you block the first mix-up. So something normally like Bad Moon has a lot of recovery. Like if you block Bad Moon, it's you can punish it. But when the disc is on you, you can't. Now the thing is a couple of things to talk about. So first off, if you do block a mix-up, the type of options you have after you block the first mix-up are a little bit more limited because the disc isn't there. There's no like extra disc to protect you. So, for example, something you won't see a lot. You won't see that a lot. You won't see that type of mix-up a lot, or you won't see like this too often. You won't see that very much. Why? Because there's nothing to protect her if you do block it. Now, if you did guard successfully and you tried to IB, they are a little bit farther because you tried to FD, right? And then you instant block, so you have a little bit more frames to work with. So they're not going to be able to do that kind of stuff either. If you did block, dead angle is okay, but I'm usually the type of like if you're picking dead angle against late disc, it should be against the first mix-up, like after you block the first mix-up. If you try to block the second mix-up, you might as well just block the rush down. Like unless she has a lot of meter, she's not gonna be able to force herself on you. It's just gonna be standard rush down. Like you're pretty much out. Like you just have to deal with her standard rush down stuff. The best if you do choose to pick, if you do choose to guard the second mix-up. The best way to guard it would be to do a really tight OS guard. Some people I played are really good at this. I guess I'll do it like this, right? I don't know why it seemed like okay. Especially depending on what you do. What's up? Especially depending on what you do. I'm doing like a real simple recording, but if you do like a really tight OS guard, you can get through this. Some people are really good at it. I'm not so good at it, even though I play the character. Even though I play the character, I'm pretty whack at it. So that's if 141. she can target this multiple ways, but you would defend against. I'm so slow at it. Usually the way I do it is like you can do 1-4-1 or you can do just 4-1. I usually do 4-1 personally. Oops, I went to 1 too fast. Can she hit this? Of course. But it would cover not only would it cover just like the basic mix up, but it also cover just generally what Millia players do. Like she has to do stuff to call that out, like mess with your timing and stuff, which is a little bit more advanced. Dead angle also is okay, but your dead angle speed is way more important for the second mix up because she's not doing like bad moon hair car. Like Soul's pretty much okay, I would say. I don't know. Like Soul's okay, but like if you play say Johnny has a slow dead angle for Millia, so you wouldn't be able to do it. Okay, that's late this. See, the second part, once you got past the first part, there wasn't that much to talk about. You can put your dashes. After throw, I do 2-3-6-6. After throw, I do 2-3-6-6. For everything else, mostly everything else I do 6-6-2-3-6. But throw, I do 2-3-6-6. Yep. Whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot. That part was a lot. If there's anything you want to know before I move on, especially preferably about the stuff I talked about, and not like what color is my stick or how do I do this combo, now is the time. Now is the time. Basically, like the best way to think about the second mix-up is like a safe. It's safe in the way that like she can. What's the best way to put it? It's like she made you block S to square C pretty much. That's a good way to think of it. Like she has advantage. She can't go nuts. Like she can't do like air dash stuff. She can't do like bad moon hair car or anything. But she has like 6K. She has 6K or low. She has 50 meters. She could be a little bit cute, right? She could be a little bit cute with stuff if she has extra meter, but for the most part, like you're dealing with 6K or like some type of low, and you have to defend against it. and generally, like a really tight OS guard will get you through that, unless they are really good at messing with your timing. So that's a more advanced player would hit you or would aim for you. You know. That's probably the best way about thinking about that second mix-up. There's not so many cases. There's some nuance about it, about her second mix-up, but that's probably for another time. It's actually pretty advanced. Maybe at the end, if people are interested, I'll mention like a couple of nuances of her mix-up because it's how she gets some hits. It's not like fraudulent stuff. It's just like. Considerations about distance and like character size and stuff, but that it's not like core knowledge. Like you don't need it to know how to defend in general. It'll just like help you know like some shit that could come at you. Okay, cool. So that was late disc pretty much. Now I will talk about meaty disc, which will be a lot easier to talk about because it's only one mix-up. So, let me do what setup should I do? Actually, probably the easiest is like I'll just do a mid-screen one. So in this case, So I didn't do a mix up because I just wanted the setup to be around. Okay. Reversal timing, boys. That means I did it wrong, by the way. Okay. Very good. So, Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say this. So here's the thing. Before I actually talk about Meaty Disk, here's an important thing. Before I talk about it, I said that twice. You need to know the rules of Blitz in this game to deal with Meaty Disk the best way. It'll help you with Late Disk, of course, but it's extremely important for Meaty Disk because especially when you are not sure of the opponent's level of competence, I guess is the best way to put it. So Meaty Disk means, so the most important rule, I guess I'll start with this. Is that a good way to do it? Let me see. Wow, my air dash. That's suitable. Okay, so something important to know, and this will help you against all characters too who have this type of Okizeme, is like when a projectile and an attack hit you at the same time, the game will pick the projectile every time. Every time. The game will never pick the physical attack every time. So how this affects H disk is you see here in this recording that I am doing a disk setup into a low, right? I'm doing a disk setup into a low. The setup, the disk is hitting Meaty also. So it's a physical attack and a projectile hitting at the same time. So what ends up happening here is that because of that, when I choose to blitz, even though Millia did a low, she gets rejected. I'll do it again. This is really fucking important to know. It's really important to know the blitz rule. So not only will this help you on defense when someone does questionable, to say the least, or suspect setup, then this will also help you against Meaty Disk in general. So Meaty Disk is designed to beat this kind of stuff, but it has to be done properly. Like this thing that I did just now should never hit anybody. So if you start like noticing how the discs look and being able to tell what type of disc is which, and you see a Millia player do like that type of setup, then you just blitz out for free. Just for free. There is no mix-up at all. Now, as far as Meaty Disk goes, as we go back to our lovely setup from before. Wow. The reason why, let's see if I can do it like this. The reason why I don't get rejected here should be really obvious. I'm nowhere near the blitz. I'm nowhere near the blitz at all. So blitz is actually not a bad option. A tapped blitz is not a bad option because it lets you see what she's doing, and it makes the mix-up kind of awkward. Also, it makes the mix-up kind of awkward because when a Millia player sees blitz, which I'm fucking missing, they will usually assume held blitz or blitz DP is coming. If you have a DP, they'll usually assume one of the two is coming. So if you do a blitz like that, you can like kind of mess with them a little bit. There's not so many. Actually, there's extremely few examples of a setup that beats blitz DP and held blitz and single blitz. There really probably is none. there's not one I could do right now. You know, the best. If it was me, it's like if I did a double jump setup, then well, I just double jumped and I could kind of check. But a lot of setups would not deal with that so well. Held blitz is okay too. After this held, no, you're stuck in block zone. So you exit in invul state, but there's another hit of a disc coming. There's another hit of disc coming here. Or the other way to say it would be like, if you could do that, you would have seen it a long time ago. You know? See how I got hit? If you really just want to get the fuck out, the 100% guaranteed way to escape a meaty disc is, I missed it. There's one way that's guaranteed to get out. That is how you get out. When you do that, she's like +2 or 3. Like that's it. But of course, it costs 50 meter. It costs 50 meter. It's really expensive to do that. I do that rarely. Because Millia's dead angle kind of sucks, like I said. So like I don't mind doing blitz, and when you know your tension pulse doesn't get affected when you get a successful reject, right? Another thing you could do is of course dead angle. Dead angle is a little better, but you don't want to. I mean, you kind of want to pay attention to them. I would try to. Well, in here you're fucked, right? But if you're in the corner, I would say I would generally try to dead angle the first hit of disc, if possible. If they're double jumping, you don't want to do it. It's gonna stop you. See, like you got hit. It depends on what they're doing, of course. Dead angle is not bad. A late dead angle might be okay. Also, like there. Also, another you could wait. You could try to block the air dash mix-up successfully and then dead angle there. That's not bad too. Blitz DP is, like I said, it's okay also. Like at worst, like I mean, at best you hit them like that, or at worst it's like, at worst they feel like really awkward because they saw blitz and they're doing nothing, and then because when you blitz, you got time to see what's going on, so you could just do it, or you could just wait and see and then do it or something. When you exit that reject state after blitzing a projectile, you're invul, so it's like you're invul and then your DP has invul, so you use that to carry through. If you do choose to block, the best way to go about that is to block low first. If you do choose to block, I would say block low first. This does a few things. If you're playing a character that is vulnerable to IAD fuzzy, if you block low, she can't do that IAD fuzzy. You get like, she would have to do something else to make you honest, right? 2, if you have a character with a really low crouch, then she has to do it well, or else her air dash high will whiff. So it's either like you block the low or the air dash high whiffs and you're good. And actually, those are the 2 main things. Yeah. If you choose to block, just like block low. That's a good rule of defense in general. Is if any character is going to do an air dash mix up to you, you want to start by blocking low. You don't want to start by blocking high. There's a lot of examples of stuff in this game that only works if you're standing, and it's rough because like it kind of takes advantage of you being a good fighting game player, or like even like a decent fighting game player. Like most people will stand up. The whole reason that type of mix-up even works in the first place, like this, right? That's not. It's So you want to do it like this. Oops. Okay. The whole reason why this mix-up even works is because it's taking advantage of the fact that you see her airborne, and then like you see her airborne and you get stuck by the disc. The disc forces you to block high. Like you can't switch once you decide to block it high. So if you have the discipline to block low, then it won't. Like she has to do something else to hit you, or make you stand. She has to do something to make you stand, pretty much. Okay, this section is a lot shorter, obviously, because there's only one mix-up. But essentially, no matter what, you're pretty much only blocking like 6K, a faraway 6K, a faraway 2S, or like air dash mix-ups, and it's only one that you have to deal with. So this was a little bit shorter. It's more, as far as Meaty disc, it's more like recognizing when and when you can't challenge it, because it's designed to beat stuff. Any questions? Any questions? Hot content. Any questions? That mix-up uses H disk. All this talk about H disk. I'm not talking about S disk at all. This is all about H disk. Can you? I'm gonna ignore any question that's not about H disk. By the way, it has to all be about what I talked about. If you missed it, you can see it later, and there's an Evernote. If you get a crouch and the ID buttons do with, does that mean part? Usually no, because like you're still blocking disc. Like the way it's the timing is lined up is that you're either. There's usually like 2 or 3 main timings. It's usually one. One is Millia attacks way before the disc hits, which means like if you crouched it, then the disc is just hitting you. 2 is like it's kind of at the same time as disc, which same thing. The disc is just hitting you. The third one is like near the end. Near the end. Near the end, that's the only time you might have a chance to throw. You'd be able to eyeball it though. You'd be able to tell the difference. And like I said before, this is like not about H-disc, but in general, air dash mix-ups, you should try to block them starting low rather than blocking high first. It's much easier to deal with the majority of air dash mix-ups in this game by blocking low first. Yeah, dude, we live in, man. Okay, because we're about to move to the last part of this document. I keep missing the parts where I should have had them just repeat, single repeat. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing you gotta do, is put it all together. Basically take everything I talked about and put it together in a certain way. So, for example, I pick Sola because, like I've said many times, I think Sola is one of the best characters on defense in the whole game. He has a lot of shit. If a Soul player tells you he doesn't have good defensive options, they're full shit. He has a lot of stuff. He is, out of the cast, especially if we're talking about H-Disc, out of this cast, he is one of the best on defense against Millia. He's one of the best characters in this game. Looking through all the characters, he is probably one of the best. If he's not one of the best, he is the best. Looking through all the characters. So to describe it, right? So let's just do that. Okay, that. There's a lot of stuff. So what can Soul do? What can Soul do? Soul of course has DP, right? DP 5 frame DP, can't option select it, or if there is, or the way that exists to option select it costs 25 meter, and it's not bad mode. So, right? Okay, so you did DP. So let's do that. Let's like fuck your DP. I'll bait your DP, right? But he can do that and take it away. And I'll do this again. Because you're crouching, see it takes time to reach. You can do it late. You don't have to mash it. You can do it late. By the way, that's usually my answer. Usually my answer is that or like 2K. Oh. That's usually what I'm doing. My bad. Let's see if you delay it. If you delay it, right? Look what happens. You delay it, you're fine. Look, you can hear me hitting the button and shit. Okay. So not bad. So you got through it. There's also, of course, we talked about before. It's got the 6K throw OS. It's got that. And you could also, like I said, before, fuzzy jump's okay. One thing that he can do that other characters can't do is right stomp where C. I fucking missed it that time. That's like, that shit is really good. I forget if it's frame 1 or frame 2 off the ground. I think it's frame 2 off the ground. I think it's frame 2 off the ground. I fucking forget. I think so. The more I'm missing this, the more I'm thinking it. Yeah. It's still... or okay, here's a better way of seeing it. I want to get like the first frame of 2D to hit. Okay. I don't think it's frame 1. Maybe it is. Hold on, let's check gun frame. Good old gun frame. Today I learned hair car hits. It's probably because it's really big. See, I'm learning. Riot. 1 airborne and lower body. Yep. He's off the ground frame 1 apparently. Woo, crazy. No, I wouldn't consider ground. Not here. You could use Grand Viper against other stuff, not against H-Disc really. And the spot where you would use Ground Viper, it would be better to just see that Millia moved away and do that. Like if you, it's like if I do this like this. Does May have special wake up options? Not really. She's kind of boned. She's not really good on defense. It's May is more of a she has to recognize what type of knockdown happened, because if Millia gets a bad knockdown, she could try to jump her backdash, but she has no DP. She has to do mostly system mechanic stuff. May is better against Millia's rush down than like when she gets like knocked down like outright, you know. Anyway, back to Soul, right? So you still have all like the standard system mechanics 2. All your normal system mechanic stuff. If 2P beat your bad moon, you fucked up. It's like, for example, he won't jump, right? Oh shit, that means I fucked up. There we go. See, there you go, and Counter hit. Counter hit. Also, thank you for the compliment. I'm out here trying to do it. So yeah, so as far as those, he has all those options, and if you cycle between them a good amount, then it would be hard to pick. It would be hard to pick. Like if it was me, if I played Soul against Millia, I would pick between like right stomp RC, DP, and crouch guard. Those would be my three main options, because if you think about those options, Bad Moon. Well, wait, what did I say? I said right stomp, crouch guard, DP, and I would add blitz. So if you think about all those options, basically, like crouch guard beats a lot of stuff. Bad Moon beats it. Bad Moon beats it outright. But she can't OS DP. So DP is the threat. She has to beat DP somehow. So crouch beats a lot of stuff that beats the thing that beats DP, which is usually waiting or jumping or IAD or something. Right stomp helps deal with stuff if you're unsure, and also it's just like an out. Like you spend 25 meter and you're pretty much out. If I recall correctly, LPT, didn't you play Millia? Like, why are you asking about backdash? You know you can't fucking backdash. I would have said backdash really early. Backdash. What am I doing? I'm doing right stomp. Shit. I actually forget if she hits right stomp. I think she does. No, she doesn't. See, so like right stomp gets away from it too. So you have to do something to hit right stomp player C. You have to do something to hit crouch, but DP beats it. And then between DP and system mechanics, and waiting and right stomp, she has to call him pretty hard for that first mix-up. She has to call it decently hard to hit that. If she tries to use 5K to beat right stomp, then you could add the throw option select, and you have a really nice complete set of options against what she has, and it's just counterplay. Then it's just guessing between both sides. You have to read DP. I'm talking about Soul. So Soul, you have to read DP, pretty much. She has options like to beat it, yeah, but it's like, this is why we're talking about cycling through options. The stuff she does to beat Jacko's backdash is not like, okay. We're talking about ideal. I mean, there you have the thing where like, okay, for example, like Chip can backdash because his backdash is really long, but it gets hit by everything. Like the only time he gets the backdash is when Millia doesn't do anything. So if you're talking about something like that, like, oh, Jacko could backdash here. There are other characters that have that, but I don't usually consider it an option because, oh, Jacko can't backdash. Okay, look, there you go. Just getting hit. Anyway, what was I saying? So like, Soul, the stuff that you do to avoid Soul's DP loses to other stuff. So like I said, like if you're waiting for DP and you backdash 2K, for example, if he just sits there, or he jumps, then, then he's fine. So you have to, your Millia must be doing bad disc sets. I wouldn't be surprised. This is a hot take. A lot of Millia players don't understand Millia too. It's not just other people who don't play her, it's also people who play her. But this is for everybody. What was I saying? Back to that DP thing. If you are reading DP, they could pick something. They could just sit there and wait. They can jump. They can do a bunch of stuff, right? If you're like, okay, they're gonna sit there and wait, and they DP, then it's like fuck, right? So once the option set is developed on both sides, then it's just guessing. Yeah, it's outright just guessing. I think Soul. I like explaining H-Disc, how to defend H-Disc with Soul, because he has a very solid option set against it. It really does depend on the character. So like for someone like Kai has more problems because he has a DP. Kai would have a different option set in my opinion. Kai has a DP, but his DP sucks against Millia. Like the only time DP is a solid option is when he has 25 meter. Or is when she has less than 25 meter. I'm sorry. When she has less than 25 meter, DP is not. DP can be used sort of still. So what ends up happening is like, okay, so I'll set her to 25, right? Wow, why did I jump? Let's see if your boy can do reversal. Okay. Yeah, and he has to deal with that with both. I missed it. That sucks when you miss it. If you're wondering why I do Bad Moon RC more, because it's easier. Jesus, why am I missing that? I'm free. Please, please, please. I know this works. I guess I'm too free. I'm too free to do this, even though I know it works. Shit! See, now I'm mindfucked. Okay. But anyway. What? Now I'm missing Bad Moon RC? Come on, man. There we go. Okay. So that's probably number one though. That's probably the number one. So usually like the counterplay that ends up happening is like Kai has to use system mechanics to help mitigate that, because it's not like Soul. Like he has to use like between, because you can also pick that. I should have did it right, but you should also be able to throw it. But it loses the DP, right? But if he does throw, you Bad Moon RC, you beat you beat throw and DP. So his guessing game is like when she has 25 meter, DP is pretty much off the table because she's gonna YRC. So he has to pick between blocking high or using a system mechanic, or blocking low and throwing mostly. She doesn't have to do the kind of stuff that she has to do to Soul. Like, she doesn't have to like backdash or like all that shit to bait his. She can kind of just do it when she has 25. When she doesn't have 25, the only way she can bait it is with something that you can throw. So there's more of a guessing game there of like, am I gonna try to OS your DP / low, or am I gonna just say fuck you and do overhead or something? But regardless, it's like his defensive spread is a little bit harder than Soul's because she can cover his DP. That's probably the number one difference, and that's what most characters have. If you want to go with like a normal character, like a character fighter reversal, it becomes a little bit more rough too, because like May doesn't have a DP. May doesn't really have a DP, so she is mostly left with system mechanics and just understanding the type of knockdown that Millia has, and just like making a bet. Pretty much, most characters it's like I don't think betting on Blitz is so bad with them because of one, they don't have a reversal without it. Two, if you guessed wrong, like if you do high Blitz and she hits you low, you're gonna get hit anyway, right? Like I said before. Anyway, the short is like, you gotta understand what your character can do. It'll help you out a lot if you know what your character can do specifically against it, and also how she's knocking you down. Those are probably the two main things. I think that's it, right? In the doc, I think I only talked about what Soul could do because I didn't want to write a lot of shit. There's some stuff I didn't talk about, but it's more like